Hi guys, it's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Please excuse the appearance of my room and my roots. I'm overdue for a hair dye. So it's a little bit close to Valentine's Day, but I figured maybe you can use this as inspiration for next year. So today I made an assemblage piece that is the Valentine's Day themed. So if you would like to see how I made this and get some up close beauty shots of it, stick around and watch me waste some talent. I purchased this box at Dollar Tree and it's going to be the base for my assemblage. For the back, I'm going to use some scrapbook paper that I'm attaching with Mod Podge. And then I use chalk paint to paint the outside walls. And for the inside, I'm using some old yellowed book pages and I'm just collaging that into the back, again using Mod Podge. By the end, you won't really see much of this, but I know it's there, so it's okay. When the Mod Podge is dry, I'm going to use a file and some sandpaper to take off the excess paper from the edges and also to distress the paint a little bit. Now I'm taking some tea bags that I dried out after drinking the tea to add some texture and color to the scrapbook paper on the back. These mini craft sticks or miniature popsicle sticks can be purchased at Walmart. And I'm going to paint them this red color called Lacquer by Waverly. These are going to be the roof shingles on top of my little house here. I'm just using some regular wood glue to attach them. Now I have this old picture frame that I took the back off of, and I'm going to make a new back for it using this old jewelry box or the bottom of a jewelry box. And I want it to be the same size as the frame, so I'm going to cut off the excess and fold it over so that I can make the box from a rectangle into a square. Now I'm going to put a base coat of that same lacquer paint onto the inside of this box. I will be adding things into the box, so you probably won't see much of this, but just in case, I want it to be a pretty color in the background. To attach it to the base, I'm using wood glue and hot glue. I'm going to be putting something in the center of this box that I want to be raised above the pearls that I'm going to be adding in a moment. So I'm taking a block from Dollar Tree and sticking that in the middle. It's a wood block, and I used my miter shears to cut it down to the right height. To help the pearls stay in place, I'm using my E6000. And then once all the pearls or most of the pearls that I want are in there, I'm going to go over the top with some UV resin. This will make sure that all the smaller pearls that I stuck in between the larger ones aren't going to move anywhere. You could just do this with glue, but I had the resin on hand, so I figured I'd use it. Now we get to do the fun part, which is putting all the cool stuff into the assemblage. This is a long process of just putting random things in there, moving them around, changing my mind, etc. So I'm going to fast forward through it, but I will point out what certain items are. Right now, I'm just gluing down pieces of broken jewelry that I've collected over the years. That's an old Subway token. Those two little filigree items were actually buttons from Walmart. And this little shoe is also a button from Walmart. Those two things that look like pink crystals are actually resin pieces that I made with some resin molds that I have. And those gears are metal. They come from Amazon. The D in the middle, by the way, is being eliminated later. When I started to make this originally, it was going to be a present for my stepmother, and her first name begins with a D. And I ended up realizing partway through that it looked more like a Valentine's Day decoration than it did like everyday decor. So I actually ended up scrapping that idea and making her something else for Christmas. And then this turned into my Valentine's Day project. In case you were wondering why it took me so long to post this video, well, besides being a great procrastinator, I also bought a new shelf for my room to replace a wire rack that I was using. And instead of just switching everything over to the new bookshelf when I got it, I decided I should also go through my entire stash of crafting things and purge the stuff that I don't use. So I ended up spending, I think, 4 days rearranging and cleaning and purging my entire craft room. So that put me behind schedule as well. But now my room is nice and organized, and I have a bunch of stuff that I can donate to Savers for someone else to enjoy. So that's nice. By the way, the large paper flowers are from Michael's a while back, and these tiny paper flowers are from Hobby Lobby. This Forever cutout, that's from Dollar Tree. I just painted it the same lacquer color. And this little cherub is a broken pin, and it was really poorly painted, so I actually painted over it with some chalk paint and some metallic craft paint for the hair. The little chest piece was plastic as well, and I painted that with some chalk paint. And this was where I realized that I was making something that looked like it was for Valentine's Day. So I took the letter out of the middle and replaced it with a heart from Dollar Tree. You would think I would have noticed sooner with all the cherubs and the red and the word forever, but I didn't. These are cutting dies from Dollar Tree, and I put some gold leaf on them to change them from silver to gold. I had bought 2 sets of the hearts by accident, so rather than never using them, I thought I could use them as part of an assemblage piece. This key I end up taking off later, so that's one of the benefits of using E6000 for this, is that it does stay wet for a little while, so you can remove or move things around if you decide you don't like them. And then I was bothered by the fact that the red heart was a different shade of red from the chalk paint I had been using. So I decided to go over the top of it with a layer of the lacquer to make it more matchy-matchy. It might not matter to some people, or you might like it with different shades of red, but I felt like it looked better with them being the same color. These tiny metal crowns come from Amazon. And now I'm going to add some pearl chain to the bottom of the box. So I'm going to attach that with screws. And in order to do that, I'm going to use a pin vise, which is a tiny hand drill, to make some pilot holes. And then I'll go ahead and screw in my little miniature screws. To make sure my screws will never slip out, I'm going to add some glue to them. I'm using art glitter glue for that because it was nearby. If you're not familiar with that, that is the brand name of the glue. It doesn't have glitter in it. I'm going to go over the really white parts of the craft paper with some ink, as well as the edges of the box, to give it a little more aging and kind of blend it together better with the tea bags. And I'm using my art glitter glue to attach lace to the back of the box. I'm gluing down another one of those hearts from Dollar Tree. This one is larger than the one that's on the front. And then to give it a little bit more decoration and kind of help it blend into the back better, I'm using some jute from Dollar Tree to go around the edges a few times. This is another cherub. It's a button from Walmart. And again, I'm going to use the lacquer to make the heart match. I definitely should have done that before I put the jute on there, but I managed to get it on okay without making too much of a mess of everything. And now I'm going to add some pearls around the edge of the heart. This is a pearl, I guess it's like a pearl ribbon. I'm not really sure what the name of it is, but you can get it on Amazon. And because it's kind of stiff, I'm using some hot glue along with the art glitter glue to make sure that it stays in the shape that I want while the art glitter glue is drying. So I'm adding some pearls onto the side and to the back of that cherub pin. That way, if you were looking at this from the back, you'll see pretty pearls instead of just the flat back of the wing. And I decided I wanted to have some more pink throughout along with the red, so I'm using some pink distress ink to add to the sides to give it a little bit of a pink undertone. I'm going to add lace over the top of that. And again, I used my art glitter glue to add these pieces of lace. And then I'm going to go ahead with adding more of my random little bits and pieces on top of all of that. Ew, glue finger. Looks like a booger. And then I'm going to go ahead and repeat a similar process on the right side, but they're not going to be exactly the same. And that heart lace that I'm using there, that I also used on the other side, that comes from Dollar Tree. The rest of the lace is from Amazon. And I'm repeating that same process as I did with the cherub's wing. This will not only make it look better from the back, but it also will make sure that that forever doesn't get broken or bent. It will give it some strength from the back. I'm also going throughout and putting in these seed beads that are pearl color to fill in gaps and hide glue. Makes it look prettier too. They go everywhere. And I'm not speeding this footage up as much so that you can see a little bit more detail of some of the things that I'm gluing on. And then of course we will do a similar process to the top of the assemblage. This little teacup was from a Barbie set I got at Dollar Tree. It was purple plastic, and I painted it with some chalk paint and filled it with some UV resin that I mixed with brown mica powder.
So I realized my camera was off, so I added some more bits and pieces here and there. I believe the camera was off when I added this key here in the center. I added a chain with some roses on it. And then I painted these screws gold. They were more of a bronzy color, so I wanted to make sure they matched. And then I went over everything with a light, well, not everything, but I went over a lot of it with a light wash of brown. I used the Black Magic Craft recipe, but you could just use watered down acrylic. So I wanted to do that to bring out the details and stuff in the darker recesses. I put some Mod Podge on mostly just these outside parts that people might touch when they're picking it up, like this little cherub, because I did paint this with chalk paint. I want to make sure the paint's not going to wear off if people touch it. I also went through and put matte Mod Podge on all of the lace on both sides and on the back, because it turned out that the art glitter glue was not the best choice for gluing down the lace. It was peeling up, so I guess it's not great for fabrics.
I also wanted to give you a closer look at the teacup. You can see the paint job I did on there. That was done with chalk paint, and I did the handle with some gold leaf, and I added the resin inside, and I Mod Podged over it to protect the paint. And I think that's about everything that I didn't get on camera. So why don't we go and take a look at some beauty shots. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Give me some comments, likes, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and safe. And as always, remember to be excellent to each other. And I'll see you next time.